The judge in the case against Nicolás Maduro says he won't dismiss the criminal charges against the ousted Venezuelan leader. Our North America correspondent Rachel Clayton joins us now from Washington. Rachel, good morning. Maduro and his wife are facing their second court hearing today. Where do things stand now?
Good morning, Emma. Well, this was the first time that Nicolás Maduro and his wife Celia have faced a courtroom since January, when they were arraigned and pleaded not guilty to a number of charges, including drug trafficking and narco-terrorism conspiracy. Today, they were back in court trying to get their lawyers to argue for this case to be completely dismissed, because the US government is not allowing the Venezuelan government to pay for their lawyers. The judge decided not to throw out the case, but he's reserved his decision when it comes to payment. He might be able to order the US government to allow the Venezuelan government to pay the lawyers, but he did say in court that he's not sure if he has that kind of power, and it was for that reason that Maduro's lawyers were trying to argue that this case should be thrown out, because they can't go through this case without a lawyer, and they do need to pay their lawyers. The prosecutors have argued that the sanctions on Venezuela need to remain for national security and foreign policy interests. One of the prosecutors said if the purpose of the sanctions is because the defendants are plundering the wealth of Venezuela, it would undermine the sanctions to allow them to access the same funds now to pay for their defence. The prosecutors also say that Maduro and Flores have their own funds and are able to use their own money to pay for their lawyers. Maduro says that they don't have any money. The judge asked the prosecutors whether there were any investigations going on into that. They said there were, but there wasn't any. Those investigations hadn't been finalised yet, so we're not sure if they've got money offshore or not. The pair, though, do have a right to counsel under the US Constitution, and that was something that the judge had to grapple with today. He said that maybe a public defender could be used in this case, but he was not sure if that would be appropriate, given how unique this case is, where the president of another country and his wife have been captured within their country and then brought to the United States to face these charges. It's very, very unlikely any public defenders had any experience with any case like that, and it would take up an enormous amount of resources. So he has reserved that decision. It's not going to be made today, so we're going to have to wait until we know whether or not the court has the power to order the government to allow Venezuela to pay these fees. And in the meantime, Maduro and Flores have returned to a detention centre in Brooklyn, New York, and they're waiting for a trial date to be set.